Dr. Stein, I hear a lot, and we talked about this topic before, but in any case, I hear lots of doctors talking about how gum disease, if you don't brush, and then if maybe the gum disease became a gingivitis and maybe a little more becomes like, some type of gum disease which needs maybe a deep scale cleaning, which is just simply a more heavy scraping, cleaning between the teeth and the gum. So, and if a person doesn't do that, he will eventually lose the teeth. And of course that's a bad thing, because, while a person is, getting all kinds of wiggly woggly teeth, it looks ugly, he probably has bad breath, and obviously losing the teeth, well, it's at the least expensive. But here's the deal. You dentists these days really do good implants. You can replace a tooth very good. It's not like in the old days where George Washington had a wooden tooth, and that must have been awfully uncomfortable. Now, you guys do a wonderful job. So rather than money, losing a tooth is not really all it is cracked up to be anymore. However, it looks to me that if you lose a tooth because your bones are shrinking, because your gums are infected, that you have an infection. An infection poisons the blood, and the gums are the gateway to all blood vessels. There is no area of the body more exposed to the blood vessels than the gums, and the palate and all that stuff, the cheeks. And having an infection there means that yellow, ugly, reddish pus, it travels to the brain, 1 foot, to the heart, 1 foot. And then it keeps going to the liver, to the kidney. It seems to be that damage of having an infection seems to be, in the end, much more severe than a losing tooth, because with a few $1,000, at least you can fix a losing tooth. How the hell are you going to fix a damaged liver, a damaged kidney, a damaged stomach, a damaged heart, and a clogged up blood system, through your arteries? Am I way exaggerating here? What's the deal?
No, you're right. It isn't just a matter of replacing teeth. The teeth are not just part. If teeth were just, if you could just take a tooth and the teeth were completely separate from the body, then it would be no problem. But it's much more so. I'm sorry about the phone.
Okay.
But it affects the entire body. The fact that there's definitely a link to heart disease, between gum disease and heart disease, and it affects all the organs. It starts from the mouth has the highest content of bacteria, and if not kept under control, those bacteria travel to all over the body. And an infection in one part of the body will travel and can become an infection somewhere else in the body. So we focus on the body, on our area of expertise is the mouth, but we try to control that, so that it doesn't develop into other problems in the body. But we do see people do think of it, there's no pain, that it's not a big deal to lose a tooth, but they don't realize how much more involved it is than just to lose a tooth.
Right. Well, and they think that, I can fix it next year, or I'll have the money, I hopefully don't lose it, kind of you take that risk. But what they don't realize is that, first of all, that year usually becomes 2 years. Most of us, we think we have the money for it next year. The truth is most of us don't have the money for it next year if we don't make it go right now. But very importantly, that year or two, now, whether they lose that tooth in that year or two, isn't the most important part. The most important part is they now have an infection. Is it true that there is babies born premature and underweight because of gum disease?
Yes. Again, it's all part of. It's very important during pregnancy to make sure for women to take care of not just not just basically all health to come in for cleanings, to come in. There tends to be, the gums tend to be even more inflamed during pregnancy, just hormonally, and obstetricians recommend highly that pregnant women should come for cleanings. and not avoid treatment, which is, we try to minimize how much treatment we do during the pregnancy, but it's very important that whether during pregnancy or not during pregnancy to maintain good health, again, minimizing bacteria, minimizing potential infections, so that there are no problems to the infant afterward.
Right. And I know there was in Japan a university where the professor researched that if a person has gum disease and happens to have the HIV virus, which we know develops into AIDS, if it develops, which it does often, that development from HIV virus to become full-blown AIDS is drastically increased if a person has gum disease, and for that much, any type of infection in the body. Because basically what the professor stated is a gum disease, as well as any other infection, brings the immune system down. If the immune system is down, anything, any illness, any bacteria, any virus will be able to take the body on much easier. Makes sense. I mean, if an army doesn't have the defense missiles up, any enemy can attack easy. And well, if it can bring them, if it can turn HIV virus into AIDS, what about the everyday flu? You know, like we're in the winter season now, and anyway, flu season is around in this country 2-3 times a year, and that's if we don't get a swine flu or bird flu or something which comes God only knows when. I mean, a good or a bad mouth will predispose you to all kinds of other illnesses, such as flus and fatigue and all that stuff, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it's good for us to go fix it and do it, because nobody would run around with a lump of like almost a handful or half a handful of infection somewhere on his stomach, on his shoulder, on his leg, on his chest, or food, wherever. I mean, people have a little ingrown toenail, which is usually an infection, and they run to the podiatrist. Correctly so, I might add. But yes, the infection in the mouth is much larger than that ingrown toenail. And it's much closer to the heart and to the brain and to the liver than the toenail.
Right, and there's a much higher volume of organisms that harbor, that live in a moist environment with it's the gateway to the body, goes to the colon, to the directly, and then into the bloodstream. If you have constant bleeding, then the bacteria they have an entrance right into the bloodstream, and then they travel throughout the body. So it's critical that be cleaned as soon as possible and controlled as soon as possible.
Right. Well, just to prove that there's no body part which is separate from the other one. And, we talk so often about, in fact, we're going to talk about it like, a headache isn't necessarily because of deficiency of aspirin in your body. A headache can be because your feet are not aligned, or your mouth is not aligned, or you don't have enough water, or whatever it might be. But the point is, many illnesses come from different body parts, and no body part should ever have an infection, because by definition, an infection infects other parts of the body. It's like it's kind of, why would you have a rotten apple in your basket of apple? You just don't do that. You know that at the beginning, one apple gets rotten, another one a little bit, and within a day or two, the whole damn basket gets rotten so fast, exponentially, that it is unreal. And the same happens with the body. So let's fix our body, and there's something we can do about the gum disease. It's visible, it's there, doesn't hurt, but the doctor sees it, and even the patient sees it. He sees it by probably smelling a little bit. He sees it by bleeding a little bit when brushing and flossing, and those are the signs that he gets his butt to a dentist. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Good. I'm glad to be right. Thank you.
Yes.